I want to help you today with the mindset of how to win in anything that you do. Absolutely anything. Anything that you have ever accomplished, you have done it enough until you accomplished it. You did not quit. And one of the reasons why I'm even doing these videos is because I can do this to the dedication where I will not quit. The reason I'm talking about this video today is because I didn't want to make a video. And you probably don't want to do things that we'll have to do. We're going to talk today about how anyone who's ever won anything did it. I want you to look at all the places you've accomplished things you've won in your life. How much did you have to suffer to get there? How much did you have to push through on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a yearly basis until you got what it was? The career you're in now, whatever job you're in now, you probably had to put in so many reps before you got to it. Or if you're really good at a specific sport, you probably lost so many times. This powerful aura of just not wanting to do it all the time. And there's things that you probably really like to do that you end up just being good at because there's a less friction along the way. But unfortunately, a lot of those things are not that profitable because if you like to do it, everyone else does. You should look at it like if it's hard, that's good because that means that less people have the willpower to fight through it. And you don't have the willpower, nobody does, to fight through 100 different battles at once. But if you pick one thing that you really want and just keep going towards it and chipping at it every day when you don't want to do it, you will win. And that is a winner. Winners aren't winners in every single field. I have this other project I'm working on. I'm learning how to do AI video creation. And I have a team I'm working with. And a couple of people, they just give up. Like they just don't, when the moment it gets hard, they stop. And it makes me think like that is exactly the difference between someone who can make things happen, genuinely make things happen, and someone who has trouble with it. But it doesn't mean that you're born one way or another. Once you see it, like once you see it for yourself, like, oh, if I just stick to whatever it is I want, I'll get it. The only challenge is that it takes a long time. And our attention spans are not long enough to do this. But what I ask you to do is take anything that takes 2 years to succeed and just start doing it and chipping away at it and understand that it takes, just pick something. Like for example, I'm doing the videos. And maybe this can motivate you. Maybe you can pull your camera out and do the videos too, because it's not that much of a, let's say, obstacle or that hard. But it does get hard for people to do it every day. Anything that has actual good value at the end of it is going to be hard along the way. And you should look at it in the sense that, hey, you know what? It's great that it's hard because that means I have less competition. Like all I have to do is if I do it every day, I will win because most people won't do it. Everyone hits a wall. You will hit a wall. I've hit a wall. I'm literally hitting a wall tonight. Didn't want to record a video today. I had so much things to do. But this is one of the things I've laid out. Another one of the things I've laid out is to get really good at public speaking. And I know it takes years to get really good at public speaking, to be able to stand up in front of crowds and motivate people and sell your product to a larger audience. That it takes a long time to learn. And I've been learning the art of sales for 10 years. But think about the things that you've been learning already for a while, and you're pretty good at them. So anything that kind of interests you could make it easier, but pick something. And if you already have something that you're going towards on a daily basis, whether it's a specific business that you want to build or maybe a social media following or anything that really interests you like that, I ask you just to pick one more thing on the side. If you're planting tomato seeds, you will get tomatoes. The Bible says, what you reap, you sow. If you don't reap it, you don't sow it. But it takes a long time, right? But if you're just planting tomato seeds and you have more room in your garden, why not already waiting for whatever it is your goals are? Because you probably understand the concept of, hey, I got to work on one thing for a long period of time to be successful in it. But while you're doing that, maybe it's your day-to-day job. Add a couple more seeds. Pick a long-term, hard skill that most people quit, and then plant those seeds and just keep watering them for the next 3 months. And you can do it the bare minimum. For my example, I want to get better at speaking, public speaking. The bare minimum that I do is I read a couple of chapters of a book on communication. Or I will get on a Toastmasters call. They have them every Monday, so on Mondays I'm good. But every day I'm just picking something. It can maybe only be 5 to 10 minutes. Or I'll watch a YouTube video. Literally, it could be that simple. You can watch a YouTube video on the topic. Every day, one video, or every day a chapter of a book, or every day. But imagine the compound over a year of doing it. You will absolutely, the longer it takes, the better. Because that means more and more people are going to get shaved away and not make it to the end. That's why doctors and lawyers make so much, because most of us dropped out of school before we made it to that 8-year mark, and maybe even more. Lawyers is the same thing, but that's why. But what I ask you to do is pick something that has a long road ahead of it, and you have 10 minutes in a day to work on it. That's how you actually win. You don't win by just trying it a few times. Even if you hit, let's say you do something where you do try it a few times and it hits gold. This happened to me. I'll give you the story of one of the times. I had a Instagram account when I was living in Serbia. I was doing they do this all the time now, but this was like 5 years ago, right when Reels, like literally the day Reels came out. I had a camera, so I just grabbed my camera and I just went around asking people to take photos of them, because I was also trying to get better at taking photos and meet people. And I was posting the videos on TikTok and Instagram. And they immediately, because no one else was doing it. Now everyone's doing it. They got like 1 million views every video. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Like one video, 2 videos, 3 videos, 4 videos, all 1 million views. I didn't have to do any of the grind. What we're talking about in this video, where you have to go 2 years without seeing one little piece of anything before you really hit. I got hit like in 2 weeks. But what happened? I didn't know what to do with it. It wasn't earned. I just was making, and then I just got bored and walked to something else, because I didn't have to do the work to get there. There's a saying, I don't know who originally said it. I heard it from Jim Rohn. He says, if you get $1 million, you better become a millionaire quickly, because then you'll get to keep the money. Because it's not $1 million, it's a mindset. I hit gold with my Instagram account and I wasted it. I didn't know. I put in the effort. I didn't put in the years to learn. I didn't build that system. So think about something that's come easy to you. Think about something that's come really genuinely easy to you. How much did you feel like a winner? Maybe you played on a soccer team where you had the best soccer players in your state or your country playing, and you were winning the games, but you didn't feel like you didn't put in the years to get really good, right? Or maybe you got a job that is kind of out of your league, and then now you're over there having imposter syndrome. It happens all the time. Think about a job that you've put in the reps and you've learned. You've actually put in the time, and you're the boss. You're the boss man there, or the boss woman. You're actually like confident as hell. Because when you have those reps behind you, you are a winner. That's a winner. That is what a winner is. A winner is someone who has actually won and done the work. Put in the repetitions and the practice and the failure and the failure and the failure. Because without failure, winning is not as sweet. Winning is like neutral without failure. Winners actually know failure. And if we can sum up this whole video into one thing, it's that winners know failure. Think about something you failed in 100 times. 1,000 times you failed in it, and then you win. Much better than winning on the first try. Much better. That's actually why gambling is so addicting. I don't gamble, but the reason this is scientifically proven that it's so good and it's so addicting to people is because of the losing. Yeah, of course you could say, oh, well, if there was no losing in gambling, I would go gamble every day and just win money. But the actual studies show that the reason people go gambling again and again and again is because of the highs and the lows. The failure. And then when you hit, you're like, it's this ultra high. It's more high than you just hit. I went on my friend's birthday like 3 or 4 years ago, and I went to go play, he did it at a casino, and I went to play, I think it was called War, where it's basically double or nothing. You put your money down and either you win or lose. It's like you pull a card and who has the bigger card wins the money, you or the dealer. So it's 50-50. And I was like, oh, I might as well play even odds. And I think I put down 200 in one hand and I won 400. And I was like, oh, cool. That's really cool. And I put it in my pocket. I never really thought about it again. I never gambled again. And it's not because I chose to or anything, I just never did it. But I guarantee you, if I put 50 bucks, lost it, 50 bucks, lost it, 50 bucks, lost it, and then won 200 bucks, I would be on a high. And that's really it. The accomplishments you're most proud of, if you have a trophy on the wall. So that it's because you failed, not because you won. So what I ask you to do is pick something long-term out. That's my call to action to you in this video. That's my ask. And do it with me, because that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm doing something long-term that I know this video content is going to take years to come to fruition. And if I can help you along the way or provide you some clarity or someone just even to talk to and feel like just you're not alone in this journey to success and life happiness as a whole. What I ask you to do is just take one more thing. Let's start with one long-term, super long-term skill set challenge that you have to grow and win and lose 100 times in the next. I'm asking you to lose 50 times in the next 2 years in something. And then that is when you're going to feel the sweetness. That is when you actually, it doesn't even feel as sweet when you don't have the losses. So you're probably better off choosing something that will actually give you some financial and almost, let's just say, social power if you do it, if you win it. So some sort of like high trade skill. Like, are you a salesperson? Maybe you also learn to do public speaking. Or maybe you learn how to cold call better, be a master cold caller. Whatever it is you want to do. Maybe you want to learn a sport, because a sport is nice social setting. If you're a good player, you kind of lead the pack and you start making a lot of friends. If you're a bad player, you're just a bad player because you haven't played enough and you give up before you get good. I started acting a year ago. I take an acting class. This is something I was just random. I've always wanted to do. So I signed up for a class and I was freaking terrible at it. Always had beginner's luck, not in acting. But I stuck it out. I choked so many times. I was standing in front of, I think it was like 40 people, and I had a monologue to give. It was supposed to be a funny monologue too. Like, it was actually a really good monologue. And I'm standing there, and I literally cannot remember the lines as 40 people are looking at me, and I'm alone on the stage. And I get the first sentence out, and I have maybe like 30 sentences to say. I'm stuck 3-4 sentences, I can't remember the lines in front of 40 people. 6 months into it. And I kept going. I kept failing and failing and failing and failing and failing and failing and failing. And then now when I go, actually I can go up there and do a decent monologue, decent scene with people. And it feels so much better because of that experience that I had, that failure. That's another thing maybe you look into acting. Acting is fun. Music or anything really. Just pick one thing and stick to it until you win. Because what really the definition of winning is losing a lot of times and then enjoying the win. For me, this video is a win because I lost all day today not wanting to do it. And I did it. And I thank you for the time and the ability to do this stuff. If this video gave you some insight or some clarity or motivation or even just something to listen to, you can check out another one of the videos. It would mean a lot. Thank you.